Hey, good morning, Guam. I think that it is about maybe 8 or something in the morning over there. So I wanted to do a live. It's been a while since I've been on, and I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about my most recent post. It was just a share from an interview with Dr. Akimoto. And he talks about, hi, John. You still owe me a phone call, by the way, brother. But he was talking a lot about your end of days plans and how it's a very important discussion to have with your family. I was chatting with a friend of mine on Facebook Messenger, and she's a nurse in California. I think I talked about her and shared her story on the panel discussion that we had last week. And so she's a nurse, and because her situation has changed and now she is helping a lot more in the area of servicing patients, she now has to think about the realities of what that could potentially do to her health, right? She could potentially be infected by coronavirus. And really, at the end of the day, we all can. But medical professionals are so much more... they have more probability, I guess, to be infected because they're around sick people all day during their shift. And so she's had to has had to have those discussions with her family and get things ready, like her will and what's going to happen if she does get sick, with her kids and with all of her different affairs, her legal things, her bank accounts, all of these things. And it was a very hard discussion to have. It made her brother sad that she had to bring up those type of things to talk about. But it's reality. It's staring us all in the face. And if we're not going to face that, then we're going to be hit all of a sudden when someone in our family or even ourselves does get sick, and now we're reacting. And so I just, I want to encourage you guys to read that article. If you didn't, Dr. Akimoto says it very well. I don't think that I need to repeat what he said, but I do want to expand on that. So it's a tough conversation. I always tell people since Frank died, and I've learned about what it means to lose a loved one in an instant. Guys, that has been my reality for the last 5 years. And so living in the present moment has always been my message of hope to everybody. And in these dark days that we face ahead, that we're in now, it's even more important to live in those moments, to enjoy who we have in front of us, to be grateful for everything. But the other part about that is the delivery of communication. We talk about this in the Grief Recovery Method. If you've ever taken any of my workshops, you'll know that we talk about unresolved grief. And unresolved grief is all about the undelivered communication, the things that we wish we could have said different, better, or more. It's all about all of the loss of hopes, dreams, and expectations in our life. And when we are faced with losing a loved one in an instant, and we didn't take the time to say all the things that we want to say or we wish we had said, not only are you now grieving because grief is normal and natural, but now you have unresolved grief because of all the undelivered communication that didn't happen, right? And so in addition to having those tough conversations in the event of, if I get coronavirus, this is what I want. This is how I want my last days to be spent. And then all of the things of thank you for being in my life. Thank you for all the things that you've done for me. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm sorry for whatever I did to hurt you. I mean, all of those things. And I think Governor Liu actually said that in one of her in one of her deliveries to the island. And she talked about saying all of those things to your loved ones, and don't wait, say them today, because this virus is very real. It's the reality of everyone around the globe. And, we always want to hope and pray that it doesn't happen to us. But the reality is that it will. We're going to know someone that's going to die from this virus. and it's going to be around for a little while from, all the data that's out there, the statistics. And so, of course, we want a miracle to happen and we want it to go away like today. But the reality is that it's not. So what are we doing today to love our loved ones that are there with us physically in the home? What are we doing to be creative about communicating with our loved ones that are not in the home, that we can get on Facebook, that we can get on WhatsApp, that we can get on FaceTime and talk to our loved ones, right? Every single day. Talk to people that we haven't talked to in so long, right? We were living in a world before coronavirus where texting and sending messages and emails and commenting on posts on social media was the norm. And now that we've lost the ability to physically connect, we're not happy about that. But this is the way we have been communicating with everybody. We just took for granted that we had the ability to physically connect with people. Well, now we don't. So now we have to be even more creative and not just send those comments on people's posts, but be truly genuine and present when you're talking to people. Call them or text message them if they're in a different time zone and check in. How are you doing? What's been happening with you? How can, I be emotionally supportive for you, or just, get to know each other again, right? I mean, I think I've reached out to so many different people that I haven't talked to in so long. And if you're on my Facebook friends list and I haven't contacted you, I will. So be expecting that message to come through. But it's important. It's important to reach out, and it's important to say hello and to ask people how they're doing and to be truly and genuinely interested in all of that, because it could be the last time that you talk to them. I just got some really sad news in the last week that 2 of my former coworkers have died. I don't think that any one of them have died of coronavirus, but nonetheless, they have died in this season of our lives. And I was telling my mother-in-law the other day how it's such a sad time to die right now because of the physical distancing that has to take place. We can't honor our loved ones. We can't give them, a decent tribute to say goodbye because of what's going on in the world. And that's really sad. And so if you know someone that has lost a loved one, either from coronavirus or just has died right now in this time that we're in, please reach out, offer them a hug, offer them love and prayers. Let them know that you're thinking about them, because it's a really difficult time for those people. And one day soon, it may impact our own families, right? So I just want to encourage you guys to reach out, show love and compassion to others. Don't judge, especially the leaders. They're really doing their best. And like I was talking to my best friend today, and I was saying, we can all have a difference of opinion about what the leaders are doing or not doing. But I personally could not do the job that they're doing. It's the most difficult job to have right now. It's the most difficult job to be a leader of a country, of a state, of an island, and have to make really tough decisions for thousands or millions of people, because not everyone's going to agree, and whatever decision you make is not always going to be right for the masses. And so you just have to make the best decisions that you can. So be compassionate, and guys, just take responsibility for yourselves and your families. And I think that that's the best that we can do for each other in these times. And so I just wanted to leave you with that message of hope and encouragement, and some real talk about what needs to be done today, not tomorrow, not in a few days, but today. Please have those conversations with your loved ones, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care.